She's tested kind of through hardships, 4 days of hard work.
The Ho-Chunk kids have always got their share of tribal wealth when they turn 18. It's divided equally among the 7,000 tribes members. But since the Ho-Chunk started running casinos, the 18 money payout has gone from $17,000 in the mid-90s to over $200,000 now. What's the first thing you're going to buy when you get the money?
Holy cow, like, my mind's going to be so crazy. It's just like basically winning the lottery and you know you're going to get it.
Do you know what you're going to spend it on?
For sure, a car.
Yeah.
Do you know which car you're going to get?
It's a Maserati.
Tribal leaders say it's a satisfying end to a sad chapter in the relationship between Native American tribes and the federal government. 25 years ago, the Rama chapter of the Navajo Nation sued the government, claiming they were cheated out of millions of dollars. The feds contracted with tribal agencies to run programs like law enforcement, education, housing, and other social services. The tribes claimed the U.S. never paid their fair share.
The federal government's conduct was not just cruel and wrong, it was illegal.
Tribal leaders stood here today and said the federal government's underpayment of those contracts resulted in poverty, unemployment, a poor education system, and poor health care on tribal land. And now it's resulting in a massive payout, $940 million to some 645 tribes, including some here in New Mexico. Tribal leaders say this victory will help them get the services they need to curb unemployment, alcoholism, and other issues plaguing tribes across the state and the country. Still, some argue more needs to be done.
Very satisfied with this settlement, but in other areas of those treaty obligations, we need to work like we did here.
But tribal and government leaders agree this could lay the groundwork for even more healing in the future.
And then you went on to is this you discussing Indian blood? We're going to judge people by whether they have Indian blood, whether they're qualified to run a gaming casino or not?
That probably is me, absolutely. Because I'll tell you what, if you look at some of the reservations that you've approved, you, sir, in your great wisdom have approved, I will tell you right now, they don't look like Indians to me, and they don't look like to Indians. Now, maybe we say politically correct or not politically correct. They don't look like Indians to me, and they don't look like Indians to Indians, and a lot of people are laughing at it.
There are some great pretenders dancing off rhythm all across America, stealing trillions worth of incentives away from you. Money, land, government contracts, casinos. While you were being called African, they changed their name to Indian. The whole time, it was you marching to Oklahoma on the Trail of Tears. From 1805 until about 1833, your indigenous land was given away to incoming whites via the Georgia Land Lottery. During those same years, the Indian Removal Act of 1830 was written into law under the leadership of President Andrew Jackson. Lastly, the Cherokee Removal Act of 1838. The irony of all of this is, if you go to the National Archives website and look on the Dawes Rolls and the census, you will see that your ancestors were listed as Indians. You were the Indians that were being removed.
Academics believe that all Native American people, no matter where you find them, that all of their ancestors came across the Bering Land Bridge, and that they all only had 4 genotypes, A, B, C, and D. Anybody who's a pure-blooded Indian or Native person in the Americas, their whole haplogroup or genetics are A, B, C, or D. But we've tested 3 of these so far, and they are not A, B, C, or D.
In other sections of the city, some very important people have created a Mardi Gras expression of their own. The history of the Black Indians dates back to 1682, when North American Indians witnessed the arrival of the French settlers in Louisiana. Many Indian tribes lived in the southeastern part of North America. West of the old city of New Orleans were the Caddo, Yatasi, and Natchitoches. In the south, the Attakapas, Appaloosa, Chitimacha, and the Chawasha. To the north were the Acolapisa, Houma, Natchez, and Tunicas. To the east, the Choctaw, Chickasaw, Creeks, Biloxi, and the Seminoles.